Four Fangs Offensive. Heeding the Archsage Azo's advice, Hector sets out for Bern. Bern, the great military force on the continent. Lycian League has always enjoyed close relations with the Kingdom of Bern. Recently, however, the King Daemon has begun to flaunt his military strength, and the Lycian nobles can no longer move freely within Bern's borders. Hector and his group enter the country in the guise of simple travelers. Moo moo. The Four Fang Offensive. This is... yeah. We're in Bern now. I wonder what will happen. The village seems so busy. I spoke with some villagers on the way here. They said Prince Zephadel's coming of age ceremony is in 10 days. No helping all the excitement. I have no idea what's happening, carefree fools. Tell me, Hawkeye, do you know of the location of the Shrine of Steels? I've heard it's north of Bern. The location of the shrine itself is secret. I doubt if anyone outside the royal family knows how to reach it. So if we want to reach the shrine, we'll have to contact the royal family, is that it? Without revealing our identities or motives? That's gotta be another way to find... There's gotta be another way to find where it is. I can provide you with a general location, Lord Pent. I am privy to the highest secrets of military information in Historia. When we learned of the shrine and its existence, we investigated. However, none of your operatives have returned. Bern's defenses are formidable. You know, even if we reach the shrine, we are just as likely not to be captured. Most likely, and if your identities are discovered, Bern will see it as an excuse to invade Lycia. That, above else, is to be avoided. That is where I come in. What do you mean? Duty demands that I attend post-ceremony festivities. However, I will greet the Queen privately before the ceremony. Privately, you can do that? Queen Helen was born in Astoria. She and I are related, albeit distant relation. When we met, I will discreetly ask about the Shrine of Seals. Most likely she will not say much, but anything will help, will it not? Rest assured, even if I fail, I will not reveal your presence. Lord Pent, that's... We do not return by tomorrow. Return to Lycia and come up with a new plan, understood? If you fail, what will become of you? Everything will work out. It wouldn't be a bad life abandoning my position, living on the run with Louise. If I am with you, Lord Pent, I care not where we go. Pray for your success. Please do let us proceed, Louise. Come back safely, we'll be waiting for you. Pent, hold on. What is it, Hawkeye? I was holding this for the Master. It's a Heaven Seal. There are only 3 in existence. What is Archsageos' plan? To give it to them when the time is right. I see. I might not know the right time when it comes. I want you to take care of it. Thank you, but... I may not return. You will. You and Louise will, without fail. I understand. Lord Hawkeye, we will most certainly return. So this is where we meet Nino. Hey, if it isn't Nino. Yeah, Lloyd, Linus. What is it? Are you working? I suppose we are. How about you? Where are you off to in such a hurry? I have a job to do too. I'm carrying a message for Mother, so I have to do my best. I'll see you. Let's do something when your job is finished. She's a good lass. Hard to believe she's that woman's child. Waiting is hard. There must be something we can do. I know what you mean, but we have to lay low. Why don't we try to gather some information on the Black Fang? Information? Yes, Black Fang headquarters are here in Bern. Location was never disclosed to me, though. Black Fang is so much different than it once was. Any information we could gain would be beneficial. That's a good idea. Thanks, Legault. Think nothing of it. What do you think, Chris? You're right. Any information we find would be a starting place. It's settled. Let us get started. Split up and go. Try to blend in. You better be careful. Especially with you, Hector. What? Those two. Can't tell if they're friends or not. Hee hee. Something funny, Ninian. Just listen to you grumble, Lord Elwood. Sound like you're their chaperone. Really, is that what it sounds like to you? Uh-huh. Well, that's great. I like it when you laugh. Excuse me? Oh, nothing. Come on, let's go. Hey, Lynn. Will you stop? We're leaving Elwood behind. So, we don't want to be in the way, do we? Huh? In the way? Hee hee hee. You mean to tell me you don't see it? Anyways, it's more important that we start gathering information. I guess we go our separate ways here then. I'm going this way. Hector! Yeah? Be careful. You too. Can it really be them? Thought they were in Napata. What does it matter? They're where they've been. We found them, so let's take care of them. I guess you're right. The timing's not right. Attacking them while they're in this town is against our creed. Shall we tell Father and await his orders? Linus, I'll go and tell Father you stay here and watch them. Why don't you and I finish them now? We can't. You have to be patient. All you need to do is watch them where they go. Understand? Uh-huh. Even so, I can't ignore game when it is nibbling on my line. Hey, Igor. What is it, Linus? We're going hunting. We'll taunt them and pull them into the center of town. Hold on a minute. You're not really going to ignore Lloyd's orders, are you? He doesn't want the villagers harmed. That's what he said, right? We'll make sure they're not. Understand, but... Come on, Igor. I want you to show my brother we can do this, right? I'm counting on you. Sure. You just never ever listen to anyone. You are Elwood. Who are you, Blackfang? That is right. You have the honor of dying at the hands of the Four Fangs. Our commander is Linus the Mad Dog. Elwood, is that the enemy? Yes, let's meet his challenge. Come, you'll get your throats ripped out. Ooh, oh, it's you, Chris, is it? Caught me unawares and looking stupid, which is that I am a former Black Fang member, which has been wrapped up in some silly emotions. Nothing more for you to worry about. Direct me as you will. What is this? Skirmish, but which side is right? Cannot tell. Not much I can do. Guess I'll have to slip in on the end. Grab Rebecca here. Or Legault. Would you only need a little more experience and you're done. Fair enough. Eventually I'm gonna feed Legault the world until he is near 20. He is the only character I think that's unpromoted at this point that I plan to use in some capacity. Of course, that may change if when I run into a couple more characters I'm gonna run into. Depending on how I play the game. Now, obviously, because my lords were over a certain level, total level, I get to fight Lloyd, and I get to fight I get Geese. Whereas if I had done a little bit worse, I would have gotten... If I had done worse. If I had not leveled them up so high, I would have ended up with Wallace and Linus, I think. In a different level than even this. It's not like they just simply replace the characters, but they actually have a completely different level for Linus instead of Lloyd. So, all was fun. Yes, the temptation here with Florina is just to send her out with a nice full iron sword and just let her clean the whole board up. The only thing you really have to worry about is all the Reverend Riders. You can put her in out of position of the initial Reverend Riders, and put her in the middle of this lake, so the pirates won't be able to reach her in the lake. Reverend Riders won't be able to reach them in the initial push. Let's see. I'm sure this is the place, but because he's not here yet. Beautiful weather. Perfect for taking on evildoers. Yet here I am running errands. Wish I were more worthy so I could help out in battle. Ah, don't scare me like that, Jafar. You've never been late to anything. Our last job took longer than expected. There are things that can slow you down. I would never have expected that. You've my next mission? Let me hear it. Alright, Mother gave this to me? Huh? Oh, what happened? You're covered in blood. A scratch, pay no heed. Scratches do not bleed like that. Let me see. Forget it, let's hurry. Next target, hurry. Bar, come on, wake up. What should I do? So they'll explain why he's saying that in a minute. Alright, here we got a annoying guy that needs to be killed. We'll clean these guys up pretty quickly, I think. All my classed up units shouldn't be too much of a... essentially, they're a bit over-leveled for where they're at right now, so we shouldn't run into any issues with, the guys that are on the board. The only ones we're going to have to watch out for is we're going to have to keep an eye out on the, promoted units, the heroes that are on the board. And then probably should take Geitz is another one. He can hit kind of hard if you let him. And then you gotta keep an eye on not even Hector's mode's all that difficult, but gotta keep an eye on some of the Wyvern Riders and Pirates to make sure that they don't get close to Ninian and or wielding, killer-esque weapons, So yeah, she's out of range, luckily, so we're good there. So, in a previous playthrough, I mentioned the most ideal thing you can do with your lords is when they class up is to focus almost exclusively on the weapon that was not their primary weapon. So Lynn levels up, you take all of your time and you level up her bow and arrow skills to S rank. And same goes with Elwood. Instead of focusing on sword, you focus on the lance. And Hector, instead of the axe, you focus on the sword. The reason being is that Elwood and Hector and Lynn all get super weapons on their normal, strong primary weapon. But they also get access to strong S-tier level weapons by having that as an option. Whereas if you S-tier the sword, you can only get access to the S-level sword in addition to your professional or your we'll just call them holy weapon, the weapon that is specifically designed only for them. So you're able to utilize two portions of the weapon triangle, or in this case I guess weapon square if you include bow and arrow, and it gives you more uses. So you run into a Wyvern Rider, you're going to use an axe or a lance, or if you run into a cavalier or a knight, you can use, what they're either neutral or bad against. Instead of going, well, Elwood can't use his overpowered weapon here because it's not good against a spear. Or Hector can't use his axe because it's not good against swords, You always have that other item and a very strong version of that as a backup. So that's always something I suggest, at least in this game, for people to do. Wait a minute, I've seen you before. What? You think you can just come up and start? Ah, I know, you're the guy who worked for Bulger Geitz. Dart, is that you? What are you doing here? Like to raise some trouble on the land every now and then. How about you? What are you doing? Working for your father? Don't mention the old man. As far as I'm concerned, I'm no part of that family anymore. Well then, what are you doing here? Nothing. Was wondering about when this battle erupted. Hey Dart, do you think I could join up with you? Huh? All this stupid... You're raising trouble, right? Let me get in the action. Fine with me. We're up against a pretty tough bunch, though. Nothing else can do. I'll fight till I get bored. Get going then. Yeah. And that's how you win a game. Here. Compared to Bartray, he's at 19, 17, 14, 12, 9 speed versus 13 speed, 12 luck versus 10 luck, defense 11 and 10, 11 and 3. And you are, let's see here, you got 13 constitution, and you've got what, 13? 15 constitution. Bartray, you are the god. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, I also love how axe users, at least in 6 and 7, are madmen. They tend to be some variation of wild, wilderness men, if you will. Or like Bartray and Geitz here, they tend to epitomize the oh, I fight because I like to fight, and I'm gonna fight until I die. And it also goes pretty well with berserkers as well. So I always thought that was kind of interesting. You got in 6 they give you access to both a brigand and a pirate. Now I'm not sure if the pirate can class up or not. I'm pretty sure the brigand can. And then obviously they give you a wide range of other choices, including they give you 2 what do they call those guys? Axe user. I'm trying to think of their name. They are axe fighters. They give you 2 axe fighters at the beginning of the game. I believe they give you a classed up warrior character later on. Oh yeah, they did. I think you give a close to. Yeah, you run into Bartray at some point. He's the classed up warrior I'm thinking of. Yeah. Game unfortunately was not very it's not very generous with their yeah, now I'm going back and forth on this subject because of Lynn. I was gonna say they were not very generous to the sword master / Myrmidon class, whereas Myrmidon / sword master is, you get more of them and a better variety of them in this game. You get a Guy, okay. If you don't count Lynn, which that's hard not to counter, let's be honest with ourselves. If you don't count Lynn, the next Myrmidon / Swordmaster you can get would be either Carla or Carla. One of them can only be recruited using Bartray as a warrior in a Colosseum, and then the other one is you're given a 50-50 chance of getting. You either get Carl or you get Harkin. Carl is, of course, the sword master that appears in both 6 and 7, and is probably considered, in terms of lore anyways, the most dangerous of all swordsmen, to ever take up the blade. But in terms of using him, he's pretty good. He's just not great. You get him way too late in 6 for it to really matter. Long ago, the lord who ruled this area was an awful man. Every night he would hold an extravagant feast full of castle. Meanwhile, the villagers slowly starved to death. One day, though it ended, the lord was dead. The Black Fang had given him a death sentence. To us, the Black Fang are heroes, no matter what others say. Makes it so hard. Why do they have to change? Helping you means that I am betraying the Black Fang, and yet I want you to have this. Oron's bolts. Hooray, I'm not going to use those, unfortunately. I respect. Oh, repeat as often as necessary, Lord Murdoch. We let the King's Ternary continue. Bird, hold your tongue. But he's still someone there. Oh. So that's Murdoch. He's a general from FE6. That I wouldn't say is fun to use. Why isn't fun to use? He's an enemy. But he's an interesting character because he's very highly loyal to Zephadel, Prince Zephadel. And essentially, he's number 2. You know, he's his closest confidant, his shield to his sword. You know, basically is as close as you get to being loyal to Zephadel as you can possibly be in both this and Fire Emblem 6. There are other examples of that in other Fire Emblem games of usually they're either generals or paladins, occasionally mages that are loyal to a fault. Yes, we're just gonna suck up all the pirate experience now. Long ago, I used to work in Byrne's Royal Palace. Prince Zephadell's teacher of history. Prince was a wise lad, Earl's family's first prodigy, yet King Desmond ignores his boys' talents, and they wither. Here, I'd like you to take this. An Earth Seal. One item that contains the power of many. Knight's Crest, Guild Ring, Hero's Crest, Legion Whip. Unsure why I would entrust this treasure to a complete stranger, and I explained it, but I have a feeling. For some reason, I believe you will aid the prince. Strange. Go on, humor an old man, take it. Hello today. Stop right there. Ooh. No need for an alarm. No reason. From reasons of my own, I wear the garb of the Black Fang. I'm a loyal citizen of Lycia. I am not your enemy. The woman who now leads the Black Fang around by the nose. When last you confront her, use this staff. The woman is the ringleader you seek. Her name is Sonya. Do not forget Sonya. I believe the Sonya fight is optional too, depending on if Nino survives. And or Jafar. I think they both have to survive. I know at least Nino has to survive, is what I should say. Quick mention of the Earth Seal. Earth Seal can be used to level up any guy that is not a Lord. So if you have any character that is 10 or greater, you can use it to level them up. Which is super good because there's a limited number of class up items in this game, so if for some reason you wanted to run... I'm trying to think of an... If you wanted... Say you wanted to run 4 flyers. That would be the 3 Pegasus Knights, Keith, all of which don't start classed up, okay? So you would need 4 Elysian Whips. I think up to this point I've gotten 2 Elysian Whips. Maybe 3 if I'm miscounting. I know I've used 1 already on Florina. I believe I have 1 for Fiora or Heath. And then we'll be meeting another Pegasus Knight here in the next chapter. So either I'd have to look it up again. I do great. I always talk about, oh, I should look this up. I should look this up before I start recording. But once I'm in there, I can't obviously stop what I'm doing, and well, I could, but it'd be kind of annoying for me to have to go back and edit it. But I think you get upwards of 3 Elysian Whips, which would class up 3 of the 4 flyers. Without, of course, going into like a secret shop that might sell them. I know there's one in this game, but I don't know where it is, and I think it's kind of late. But, you know, and then I guess another example would be you get 3... I keep wanting to say 3. I think it's 3 Heroes Crest, 3 Knights Crest, that sort of stuff. Two of the bolts. Now, mind you, this is me sort of just remembering from drops from, you know, visiting people. It doesn't necessarily include like a hard mode where, say, the bolt or whip or other upgrade material can't, you know, either has to be stolen or can be stolen from an enemy who happens to be carrying it, even if they don't make sense to be actually holding it. To get to the point, the Earth Crest, on the one hand, you'll hear people who are hardcore Fire Emblem fans say, oh, why can't all of the upgrade materials just be Earth Crest, you know? Just let me pick the guys I want to upgrade. And at the same time, the game's sort of trying to go like, well, yeah, you could use 3 Cavaliers, 2 Knights, but you don't have enough class-up materials between Lynn's mode and, let's just say, Hector's mode to do all of them. You're going to have to pick between the Knights, the 2 Knights you have access to, and the 3 Cavaliers that you get access to that all could be promoted. Obviously, Marcus, Isadora, they come pre-promoted. So... And depending if you play Lynn's normal mode, then Wallace would also come classed up as a probably not the most ideal general. Hooray! He died. I'm bringing Florina back because she kind of needs some healing, and I kind of want to take all of my units and put them together, so that they can, you know, I can group them together and we can go for one big push to the end. Ryan's bolt is definitely one of the weird ones because there are 3 characters exactly in the game that can be classed up with an Orion bolt. 2 of them are your archers that you get at the beginning of the game, and the other one is Wraith. Those are your 3 and only 3. So it doesn't really take much choice. It's like, okay, I want to use 2 bow users. I'm going to choose one of my 2 archers and Wraith. Or I guess if you don't care about Wraith, you could do both archers and make them snipers, but I sort of roll my eyes when I say that, as if you really want to have 2 characters that have to be range-based and don't have, particularly when they class up, don't have the ability to wield another weapon. So I've thought on and off about, even though I know we're nowhere close to doing this because I'm literally playing Hector's normal mode right now, but I've thought about if I record a Hector's hard mode, who would I pick? Would I try to do the thing where it's like, okay, we know we're doing a hard mode, we're going to try to make this as easy as possible for ourselves, or are we going to go balls to the wall, let's make this as hard as possible, i.e., I'm only allowed to use characters I've not used before. Like, i.e., I would have to use Dorcas. I.e., I'd have to use Guy and Urk and